Here's my question on the flip side, right? Because I hear a lot of people say this. Why do you expect to get served and have the same service as somebody that is tipping if that's what you don't intend to do? That's my real question.
Entitlement.
Nah, my answer to that
That's
is
a
that's why I do tip because I used to do it. I know I'm not when I go to Golden Corral, I leave a tip, bro. I leave a tip everywhere because I understand that's how the waiters get paid. They only making a minimal amount hourly, so they live off tips. So if you going somewhere that's serving you, you should always factor in leaving a tip, unless they service is absolutely horrible.
No, no, no.
Then you
Here's
can
my question.
kind of judge accordingly. But
For the people that could see it the opposite way, why do y'all? Because it almost seems like those are the type of people that are the most demanding. Why do y'all expect to get served in the same way? Like, why don't y'all go to the carryout place
I
and
can
then take
say,
your
I
food,
can
take
say
your
this.
food to the table and open up that bag and get that styrofoam out? Why don't y'all eat y'all stuff out like a doggy bag? Why do y'all expect to have the same level of service?
I'm gonna tell the truth. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna be quiet on this issue. But early on in my early 20s, I never understood the importance of tipping, truthfully. And it took for one of my friends who was a server at a previous time of her life. I think I was probably like 24 years old to say, Deja, they only get paid half minimum wage. In my
right,
mind, it's like y'all already getting paid. So why am I giving you extra money when you're getting paid to do a job? Until I realized that they're not getting paid, a reasonable wage. And then that's when I understood. Because my thing is like, I'm a tip $5. I don't care how much the bill is or how less the bill is. I'm gonna tip $5. That's
Come
be my
on,
thing.
hold on, wait. Because let's be for real.
I learned.
You
I'm
that way
grown.
today. You that way today.
No, that's not true, Anton. Truthfully speaking, I learned, and I'm not like that. I'm a
Okay, so
20%
let me
tipper,
ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a
or
question.
whatever the bill is.
For the women, for the women. Do y'all tip the women that do y'all hair?
Yeah.
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 So why do y'all have no problem tipping the women that do y'all hair, but not the person that serve your food?
Damn, that's a good one.
Because y'all are asking and questioning why does it make sense? Why do y'all tip the person that do your hair?
Hmm.
Why is it
There's
not a
a
one for
there's a
one?
skill that we
The person that does
appreciate
your
in the
hair,
hairstyle.
wait. The person that does your hair is not even making minimum wage. They're making way more than that. But then the person that is serving your food is making less than minimum wage. But then you don't feel obligated because you're saying that they already are making whatever it is that they're making. Why don't y'all have that same energy and that same etiquette or that same perspective towards the person that do your hair?
I tip, so period. I tip my nail tech. I even tip for
Okay, so
takeout.
y'all tip the Asians, you tip the women that do y'all hair. Why do y'all not? So why is it not the person that feeds y'all?
Especially when they're touching your food.
Because the food
Handling
already.
food.
I'm gonna
Huh?
say that they probably, Anton. They probably the reason why they do that with the hairdresser and that because they're more impersonable with the hairdresser. Like they talking to the girl, they might know her, so they fucking with her. But the waiter, they don't know her. They like fuck it, you know what I mean? But you're right. You put the spotlight on that. They should though, because I tip
I'm
my
just trying to
barber. My
understand the
barber good too.
logic.
Definitely should.
I'm trying to understand the logic. I've not only do I over tip, but I tip before I even get into something. When I catch my Ubers, I always give them the money before they even leave. When I go to certain places, I'm always giving them money before they even walk in the door. And it's like, on one hand, I do it because I want people to know I appreciate them before they even take me because they tend to treat you even better and they go out of their way, you know what I'm saying, to really, truly take care of you. But then on the flip side of that, I also, if I'm being honest, feel a level of I almost feel like I have to overcompensate for what I know people that came before me did that look like me.
Bro, I do feel that way a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like, man, I'm finna tip because I know the stereotype on us as black people. They're like, oh, these niggas ain't tipping. Got you. You know what I'm saying? So
I only think about that when the service is bad. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and tip because they already expected me not to.
Yeah,
No,
but if your
I
service
just,
bad,
I'm already gonna
Even if
give
it's
them
bad.
that money that I'm gonna give them, but I give it to them ahead of time in order to break the stereotype.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with that. I'll be
sure.
with that too.
I agree.
Good
no,
service.
I don't get mine ahead of time. I ain't gonna lie on that.
Now, I
But I'm gonna
always give
give
it
it
ahead of
to
time
I'm a timber dog.
because I can always already like I've talked to Uber drivers and stuff like that, and they, if I give it to them ahead of time, and they be like, "Oh man, this has never happened before," or whatever, and I give them a decent amount of money. Um, but the other side of it is that once you start getting them comfortable and they start talking, they'll tell you like, "Man, I don't even go into this certain area," or "Man, I don't even
Mm.
go there," right? Because they know that it's primarily black people, or they know that it's primarily, a certain demographic of people. And not only do they not tip in that particular area, but it's a strong possibility when they pick up the person. I had one Uber driver tell me, "Yo, man, I went over to, I took a chance. I wound up picking it up in this particular neighborhood. And, first of all, it was already a little sketchy because of the way that they was waiting at the door. And then when they came out, the dude had a backpack. And when he got out, he basically came to the conclusion that he was taking somebody that had a bunch of guns that was going to sell a bunch of guns. And it was just like, it's just hard to break the stereotype a lot of times. And I
Yeah.
also feel like I have to do it ahead of time because the expectation is to deal with it. I know women, for example, that will go into a restaurant on a girls' night, right, with their homegirls, and they will hold up somebody's table for 3 hours.
Yep,
That's crazy.
They will hold up somebody's table for 3 fucking hours, bro.
I done seen it, bro.
Damn.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. It's a weird dynamic. But I do hear a lot of these questions because every time I post a video of something or somebody that say, something tipping related, I see a whole lot of comments from people, both regular black people and Africans, that talk about how they don't believe in tipping.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
wild. Old girl you had on there that was African. She said she don't do it. I said, "You over here now, baby," and she still said she ain't doing it. That's crazy.
Oh, they don't give a
But
fuck.
she was proud of it.
Don't give a
Yeah,
damn.
she was proud of it. She
She
was
was
like, "Nah, I ain't."
proud
Nah,
of
I,
it.
she said, "I stand on that." I said, "All right, you should do that."
I wonder if it was because she was a woman,
Shit,
because I've
tripping.
met African men who are tippers.
Mm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just the women are extremely, extremely cheap.
Yeah.
I'm just
No, I
happy.
think in
I'm
their culture
happy.
they kind of look at restaurant people as like peasants and shit. You gotta understand that some people from different cultures like a peasant thing, or you already getting paid. That's how they mindset is. Even though they over here now, that's how they thinking.
I'm
Yeah, but it
happy for
doesn't.
the people calling it out. Like the people calling it out, like, oh God, the guy did just now. It's just like black people don't tip. I'm very proud of them for finally sticking up for themselves and saying something. Because I know a lot of people will try and say, oh, it's racism. He can't say that and stuff. But I'm happy that they're defending themselves and putting it on blast.
Do you guys think that? Do you guys think that you got some of y'all? Do y'all think that y'all would still have the mindset that y'all have if y'all never worked in the service industry as a server or something like that?
I never worked in the
Yeah.
service industry, but I don't have that kind of mindset.
My mom
Because I
worked at
was
Shoney's,
raised.
so I seen what she had to do
At Shoney's,
Okay.
at Shoney's.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Aria.
My bad.
Because it's okay. I was raised that you don't go anywhere if you don't have money by my parents. So another thing, because I was talking to my friend about it recently as well. You also don't go to a restaurant if you don't have money. A restaurant is not a priority. It's like an activity. If you can afford
yeah.
to go to a restaurant or tip, then just eat at home.
So if
I
all,
agree.
y'all are such, if all of y'all are such good tippers, how come everybody is saying that black people don't tip like that?
It's the black
Like I
women,
said,
bro.
it's
That's
a
what we're
certain,
saying.
it's a
Not all black
certain
women.
Yeah.
perfect,
I'm
like a certain type.
luckily I
Do you
worked
think?
as a
I mean,
server
I wonder.
early, so because I ain't gonna lie, I would kind of, if you don't know like a server salary, then it ain't, because the main reason I tip is because I want to look out for the server because I know that's how they get paid. It ain't even about, man, I'm just a super tipper on everything I do. It's just when I go out to eat or something like that, bro, I know that's how they get paid. So I'm gonna make sure I take care of them. But if I didn't know that, I can see why somebody wouldn't just be hell bent on tipping. Because if you thinking they getting paid, you at a nice restaurant. Because some people actually believe this. Like everybody at this restaurant, since it's exclusive, is probably getting paid, right? And so it's not contingent on me tipping for them to get paid. I'm gonna tip because I know that's what they need. It ain't necessarily just because this restaurant's expensive and I'm a baller and I got a tip. It's only for the waiter why I tip. I ain't gonna even lie.
Okay. All right. And anybody else got anything to say on this subject?
I was wondering, so are they saying like not tip or tipping small? Because I've never really seen nobody not tip at all. I've seen them just tip a little bit.
I
So
think it was
I
not
guess it's
tipping at all.
not tipping at
think.
all.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they tripping now. I'm tipping.
I mean, I
Even though
think
you
it's the
say
same
good or
thing.
bad,
Yeah, either way, it's the same thing. But
because you
yeah,
never know what
I've
somebody
been
going through. That's why I tip.
I've
I
been
like to
making
make people
tips for a while.
One thing about it, two things for sure. 2K ain't. I'm not tipping nobody. I put on everything. When you sit back and you think about tipping, it is so stupid because they are asking you as the customer to pay them more than they are requiring the boss. You making $3 an hour at your job and expecting me to tip you 18%, which is $10 to $15. Man, you should get a better job. Like, why would I pay you to do what you're supposed to do? Like, and if it's that big of a problem, how about you leave my tray in the back, let me know when the food done, and I go get it myself.
Hey, man, crazy, man.
I don't understand why anybody tips ever. Because it's stupid. Why would I pay you to do the job that you signed up to do? If you want to do it for $3 an hour, that's on you.
Now, I feel you on that. That's why I said I can see the other side, but since I worked in there, that's why I do it for the waiters because I know that's how they get paid.
I'm gonna be 7 people in and out. So if I drop you down, I'm gonna bring you back up. Man, don't y'all go with 2K on this.
Man, go with it.
Don't go with 2K on this, y'all.
2K. If I'm at Waffle House, I got to tip. If I'm at Waffle House, bro, I gotta tip at Waffle House, bro. Come on, man.
Stand your ground and do not go with what 2K is saying on this.
How would I do what the boss not doing?
Why expect
CK.
service if you're not going to show gratitude? And sometimes those servers have to tip out the bartender. They have to tip out other people. Sometimes that money, they have to spread it amongst other. Yeah, because you're going there for a service. You could be doing all that yourself. It incentivizes them to even show up and work for $2 to $3 an hour.
Exactly.
What is this word gratitude? Gratitude is me walking in your establishment and buying a meal. That's gratitude.
But you can get it takeout and get up out of there. If they bringing the food to you and serving you and hey, you need some water or you need this, they keep refilling you. That's the service. If you don't want to tip, then you can take your ass in there, pay for it, and get the hell up out of there.
You could go to the buffet.
It's literally your job. Literally, I can't go in the back and get it myself, bro. You ain't nobody doing no favors. You not giving me no extras. I don't want no extras. So don't expect no tip because you ain't did nothing extra for a tip.
Well, they actually is. They serving you.
No, they not.
You can go to takeout and you ain't gotta get no service.
What is the waiter job to do? What is on the job description as a waiter?
To wait on you.
It's to wait on the people who plan on tipping.
Okay, and what's in turn? What is in waiting? Is do serving comes along with that?
Yes.
There you go, brother.
For the people who want to dine in. If you're not tipping, you shouldn't dine in though. If you got that mindset, well, you ain't tipping nobody, just pay for your food and get up out of there. That way they not serving you.
Do you tip bartenders?
No, for what?
You don't tip your bartender either?
Ones that make it drink.
You probably get
when you
spit
go to
all
Waffle
your
House,
food,
you don't.
2K.
He cold.
They spitting all in your cup.
He
when you go to
cold.
Waffle House 2K, you don't feel like tipping. You don't feel like look, she ain't got all her teeth. My waiter and the cook ain't got no teeth. I need to fuck with it. I need to come out.
You need to tell me because I play I pay the price that's on the menu, that's not enough.
Not for you to be sitting in there getting served on if you're not gonna tip. That's the part. Yeah, you can pay for it and then just get up out of there. Then you good. But if they serving on you, refilling your drink, bringing your food to you, all of that, that's where the tipping come in play.
What am I paying extra for? Are you charging me to sit under the air that the establishment must have? Are you charging me because of the lights that the establishment must have? What are you charging me extra for? See, this
Tariq, he trolling, Tariq, man. He trolling.
Y'all got sympathy for corporations. Let me tell you how I know this. Because if you go to McDonald's and tell them you don't want no cheese and no lettuce, the price of the burger ain't gonna go down. They ain't gonna do you no favors. So why I give you a tip because you brought me my food? What was your job?
Because you're in America, and that's what they do in America.
Baby,
Kamaya, you're muted. Kamaya, you're muted.
Oh yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yeah, please look at God. She's finna say some bull.
2K, you would be one of the people I would see, and I would skip over you. I would make you wait extra long.
Nah, 2K one of the dudes that stereotype come from. That nigga right there.
While Carmaya is fixing her audio, I'm gonna bring her back up in a second. Let me ask you a question. Why are you incentivized to live stream?
Why am I incentivized?
2K, why are you incentivized to live stream?
I'm not incentivized to live stream.
You're not?
You talking about like a super chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
People do that by the laugh.
But my point is that you do it, but you also don't turn off your super chats, right?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I worked hard to get it monetized. That's a part of the revenue stream.
Same thing for the people that's at the restaurant.
What are we saying here?
I'm saying that the same logic as to why it is that we want to be appreciated for our work. We don't ask for it, but we 100% value it more. And a lot of times the reason why people go on a live stream is not, they can just go and do pre-recorded videos, but the reason that they go on a live stream is because they understand that the super chats is a part of the monetization strategy. And so it's no different, us being tipped, right? Us being tipped for the entertainment that we provide is no different than people providing extra services and the things that they do in order to make sure that we have a greater experience. The experience is what people are paying for. The fact that they appreciate what we do is what people are paying for. And so, you know, while I'm incredibly blessed, I am incredibly blessed. So I never, ever ask people whatsoever for anything. But at the same time, I'm very appreciative of the fact that they see value in what I do. And so I can't sit there in good conscience as a person that is tipped for the entertainment and the service that I provide for people on a regular basis. I can't in good conscience say that I am not going to intentionally or go into a restaurant. At the very least, people should be open-minded to tipping. I believe that people should tip because that's just the right thing to do and that's just our culture. However, at a minimum, especially considering what our experiences are, I just believe that it's very, very, very much a necessary thing for us to be open-minded to make sure that we adjust to whatever the custom is, because that is the way that we're appreciated.
No, Sirski. Listen, okay, so at time, when we live streaming, members are tipping because they feel like you are giving them over and beyond what that they came to see.
No, not necessarily. Some people just do it to support the platform.